The New York Jets drafted Sam Darnold with the number 3 overall pick in the 2018 draft. And I believe in Sam Darnold. I strongly believe in Sam Darnold. I think he's the next big thing in the NFL. I love the guy. But I had this weird internal struggle recently. In the last week, I had this weird internal struggle, and I just questioned, should the Jets play Sam Darnold immediately? I just had this internal struggle. Should the Jets play Sam Darnold week 1? I don't know. I went back and forth. At first, I thought yes. And I'm going to tell you why I thought yes. I'll make that point too. And then I'll explain why I think that's wrong. So if you look at Sam Darnold and Josh McCown, the quarterback for the Jets, it appears that the two of them are tied. The old veteran and Sam Darnold. They're on the same plane. They're both kind of equals. And growing up in college and in school, every time you have an underclassman, a young guy, and an older guy tied, some coaches believe that the tie should go to the upperclassman. I've always thought that was stupid. You should give if the old upperclassman, if the sophomore and the senior are tied, go with the sophomore because you get more years to develop him. Who has a higher ceiling? The young guy, because you can develop him for 2 years rather than just getting 1 year out of the senior. So you might want to get as much time with the young guy as possible. That makes sense. So maybe play Sam Darnold immediately. But that's not a perfect analogy because you remember college and the NFL are very different. High school and the NFL, they're very different. In the NFL, you're dealing with 10, 15-year careers. And in high school, it's 3 years, 4 years max. 3 years, if you play your freshman year on varsity, 4 years, that's not a lot. But also you think about it, okay, well, if Sam Darnold starts week 1, by week 13, he's going to be really good. If Josh McCown starts week 1, by week 13, he's not going to be any better. So Sam Darnold has a higher ceiling. Sam Darnold has more room to improve than Josh McCown. So that makes sense. That's an argument. Maybe you should start Sam Darnold. Here's what really, really kind of tempts fate. This what really tempts me into playing Sam Darnold week 1. I learned by doing. I worked on my car all summer. I learned a bunch. I changed my starter. I did a bunch of stuff to my car. I did the work myself. I learned by doing. Now, my buddy was over my shoulder, kind of guiding the way, answering my questions, telling me when I screwed up. But I did it with my hands. I was the one turning the screwdriver. I was the one turning the wrench, pulling the starter out of the car, figuring out how to jiggle it out. So if my buddy had done the work, if my buddy was the one pulling out my starter, turning the wrench, I would have learned a lot less if I was watching because I was doing the work. I learned way more. So it makes sense to me. I would want Sam Darnold on the football field this fall because Sam Darnold can learn by doing. He's going to learn more by getting on-hands experience. And he has the older brother, Josh McCown, over his shoulder, giving him advice, kind of guiding the way, telling him when he screws up, making good decisions, bad decisions. That makes sense to me. Sam Darnold's on the field. He's going to learn as much as humanly possible. Now, here's where this really ramps up because now we have to include Teddy Bridgewater. Where does Teddy Bridgewater fit into all of this? Now, remember, Teddy Bridgewater was once considered a franchise quarterback. And then Teddy Bridgewater got hurt, and we never really gave him a fair shot. We've never really seen the talent that Teddy Bridgewater, the other Jets quarterback, has. We think he could be a franchise quarterback. We don't know. We do know that the Jets drafted Sam Darnold, so that's the guy they chose. But Teddy Bridgewater could play really well. Here's what I would do if I was the New York Jets. I would keep Teddy Bridgewater. There's rumors that the Jets are going to trade Teddy Bridgewater. There are rumors they're going to trade him, get what they can for him, get a young pick. I would forego the trade. I would not trade Teddy Bridgewater. Because if you trade quarterback Teddy Bridgewater from the Jets, what are you going to get? Not offensive lineman? That offensive line is important, don't get me wrong. But it's more important to have the best quarterback situation possible. If Teddy Bridgewater can help Sam Darnold, or if he can be the starter himself, I'm not going to get rid of him. I wouldn't get greedy if I'm the Jets. You got to set your priorities on the quarterback position. That's more important. So I would start Teddy Bridgewater. I'd start Teddy Bridgewater all season, at least until Sam Darnold can beat him out. Until Sam Darnold is objectively better than Teddy Bridgewater, I'd leave Sam Darnold on the bench. I'd make Sam Darnold earn the starting spot. Here's what that'll do. The first thing that'll do is it'll be good for Sam. Sam will develop because he's got to have to challenge himself and push himself to beat Teddy Bridgewater. But the second thing that will do is it will earn Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold will be able to earn the respect of the Jets locker room if he beats out Teddy Bridgewater. If they hand him the job, great. If he earns it, beats out Teddy Bridgewater, that'll do more for the locker room. Also, the other thing is that the Jets have to ask themselves, what narrative do they want to tell about Sam Darnold? What narrative do the Jets want to surround Sam Darnold with? Because there's many options. One option is that the Jets sit Sam Darnold and start Teddy Bridgewater. And if the team is losing, Teddy Bridgewater is the starter, the team is losing games, it's not working. You put in Sam Darnold, and then, maybe they get better, maybe they win. But even if the Jets put in Sam Darnold week 6 after losing a bunch with Teddy Bridgewater, if Sam Darnold loses, it doesn't matter because the team sucks. It won't be Sam Darnold's fault. The expectations are lowered. If the Jets start Sam Darnold from the get-go, if the Jets make Sam Darnold the starter week 1 and the Jets lose, that severely complicates things in a really negative way for both the Jets and Sam Darnold. Because then people are going to wonder, is Teddy Bridgewater the guy? Should Teddy Bridgewater play? And the narrative around Sam Darnold will become, he's a loser. He doesn't have it. And here's the thing, even if the Jets start Teddy Bridgewater and they win some games, Sam Darnold still could beat him out. And then, guess what? The locker room will still believe in him. Because if you beat out the guy, it doesn't matter. The team knows. The locker room will know. Sam Darnold's a better quarterback. He earned the spot. He's playing better. He's our guy. But it's really important for Sam Darnold to have the support of the Jets locker room. Now, a lot of that's on Sam, who he is, how he carries himself, yada, yada. But you can help the narrative by allowing him to beat out Teddy Bridgewater. I would keep Teddy Bridgewater. If I'm the Jets, I would not trade him. I would use Teddy Bridgewater as a tool to develop Sam Darnold. And remember, the Jets can create a narrative that Sam Darnold is the hero saving the season or the one bright spot on their season. If they start him from the get-go and they lose a bunch, that's not good. If they don't start him week 1, they bring him in week 6 after losing 6 games or 3 games or 4 games or 5 games, then Sam Darnold's the hero. And even if they don't have a great winning season, he's the bright spot. He's the good thing. Set the expectations for Sam Darnold there, that he's going to help week 6 and save the season. Sam Darnold is the best quarterback in last year's draft class. He's my favorite. I've met him. I've shook his hand. I believe in him. He's unbelievable. And I really hope the Jets handle this situation properly. I don't know. I'm just a guy in a room saying some stuff. I could be dead wrong. But that's what I would do. I would keep Teddy Bridgewater. I'd use him to push Sam Darnold. Regardless, I'm rooting for the Jets. I'm rooting for Sam Darnold, and I really hope Sam succeeds. Thank you so much for watching this video. It means a lot to me. Remember, you can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, on YouTube. Basically, everywhere you can find a podcast, you can find Strong Opinion Sports. And if you really want to help me grow this podcast, tell your friends about this show. Share it on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about this podcast. Thank you so much. My name is Zach Schaumler, and have a great day.